Well, it's 8 and 0, Tony. That's right. It's the weekend edition of Dodgers Latest. I'm Jim Rodriguez. You can hit me up on X and Instagram at JRodShow. And the Dodgers, well, they hit the road. Weekend in Philadelphia for a marquee matchup between two teams in the National League that are expected to contend and be in the World Series. It's a national game on Apple TV tonight, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 on the West Coast. Dodgers and the Phillies tonight. We'll get into that. But the news of the day, the latest, is that Freddie Freeman's ankle is just not responding, so the Dodgers have placed him on the 10-day injured list. Now, it's retroactive to March 31st, which means he's going to miss this whole road trip. There's 3 in Philadelphia, 3 in Washington. He would be eligible to come back a week from Friday, the 11th, when the Dodgers return home to play the Chicago Cubs. By the way, that would be Freddie Freeman bobblehead night. So we saw how the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night turned out with a walk-off homer. So Freddie will not be making the trip as his ankle is not responding. The freakish of all injuries, right? He steps into a shower and he aggravates his ankle. It's the same ankle that was surgically repaired. And they just don't, they're not going to take any chances with him. The idea had always been to try to get Freddie some extra days here and there, especially at the beginning of the season with all the days off. But Freddie's they're not going to push it. They're going to give him the time off. 10-day injured list, retroactive to March 31st. Freddie had been, he had been doing some damage. He was only 3 for 12, but he had 2 homers and 4 RBIs this season. He hasn't played since last Saturday against the Tigers. So, with Freddie out, that means who takes his spot? Who's going to get the call up from Oklahoma City? Well, yesterday we talked to you about the Dodgers had made a trade for the guy who set the American League record for stolen bases in Esteury Ruiz. I don't know if they'll call him up. Is it going to be Dalton Rushing, the Dodgers catcher, who is in a logjam behind the plate? He's probably one of the Dodgers' top prospect, if not the Dodgers' top prospect. My money would probably be on James Outman. Remember, Outman has started in AAA Oklahoma City. He's played well. Andy Pages has struggled both offensively and defensively. And in terms of first base, well, they have been playing Kike Hernandez. He played in the Braves series. They also have Max Muncy with the flexibility of putting him at first base and have Kike either play third. Chris Taylor could slide into third base if Max Muncy goes into the first base spot. It should be just a short-term Band-Aid, hopefully, and Freddie will return. But if I was a betting man, and I am, I would go with James Outman, who should be getting a call-up from Oklahoma City. But Dalton Rushing would be an interesting proposition. The highly touted Dodger prospect who is a catcher, maybe with Will Smith locked in long-term, and they still have Austin Barnes out there. Maybe it's time for Dalton Rushing to maybe learn a little first base, maybe learn a little third base. Could be an opportunity for him and to get up to the big leagues and play there. So it's the Dodgers and the Phillies this weekend. We talked about a marquee matchup between two contenders in the National League. And tonight we get Yamamoto and Jesus Luzardo. Now, the first thing that jumps out at you when you see this matchup is strikeouts, 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 right? Luzardo had 11 strikeouts in his season debut against the Nationals, while Yamamoto struck out 10 Tigers his last time out. It's going to be Yamamoto's third start. Remember, he pitched in Japan. He's 1-0. Gone 5 innings in both starts. Very good serviceable starts. Luzardo also pitched 5 innings in that. And if you're thinking about maybe who has done well against Jesus Luzardo, well, Tommy Edman, who's gotten off to a great start. He's 2 for 5 with a double and a triple against Luzardo, while Shohei Ohtani is the only Dodger with a home run against Jesus Luzardo. Shohei 1 for 7, though, against Luzardo, but he does have that home run. No Philly batter has ever faced Yamamoto in a regular season game. Rest of the series on Saturday. This is the one I'm circling, right? Roki Sasaki. How is he going to bounce back? It's going to be his third major league start, and he gets a tough assignment. He gets Aaron Nola of the Phillies. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock LA time. And on Sunday, the finale of the series, it'll be Tyler Glasnow, who looked so good against Atlanta, and he will draw Christopher Sanchez. That's an afternoon start. So 3 different start times for this series, and the Dodgers will head out to Philadelphia. Now, we'll head out from Philadelphia to Washington. Now, the one thing about the Dodgers and Phillies that has always rung out to me, these guys have seen each other a lot in the playoffs. They've met 5 times in the postseason, all National League Championship series. So a ticket to the World Series has been in play when the Dodgers and Phillies have met. And there's been some great moments and there's been some great history in the postseason. Obviously, the Dodgers won the first 2 league championship series that they've met against the Phillies in 1977 and 78, but the Phillies have had the upper hand, winning the next 3 series. In 1983, they beat the Dodgers thanks to Gary Matthews' unconscious performance in the 83 NLCS. And then, of course, in 2008 and 2009, these teams faced with a chance to go to the World Series, and the Phillies won both those series and went on to win the World Series in 2008 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Dodgers have never won a postseason game at Citizens Bank Park. They're 0-5 there. Overall, they do have, it has not been a house of horrors in the regular season, although last year the Dodgers did get swept in Philadelphia by the Phillies. Philly won 5 out of 6 against the world champions last year in terms of the way they have done in a matchup head-to-head. Some great moments again for the Dodgers in Philadelphia. Well, Josh Beckett, remember him? Josh Beckett, he pitched the first regular season no-hitter at Citizens Bank Park. Maybe you can get a beer on that on a trivia question. He did that in 2014. Of course, the first no-hitter pitch at Citizens Bank Park was in a playoff game. The Hall of Famer Roy Halladay in 2010 no-hit the Reds in the NLDS. This ballpark has been in operation since 2004. So it's going to be a big weekend. Love to see it. It's an Apple TV game tonight. Dodgers and the Phillies. It's going to be Yamamoto and Luzardo. We'll catch up to you on Monday when the Dodgers head to D.C. And, of course, they'll be going to the White House. I'm Jim Rodriguez. As always, it's time for Dodger Baseball. Have a great weekend.